There is a lady on this platform. Let me call her Rachel. Rachel has always insisted to me, she has always insisted that Moses Kuria is actually President Uhuru Kenyatta's Trojan horse in William Ruto's camp. Basically, Rachel has always insisted that Moses Kuria is President Uhuru Kenyatta's spy in William Ruto's camp. But I've always disagreed with Rachel because at times Moses Kuria can always go overboard to an extent of even dragging the name of the entire first family, like he did on Friday. But I'm starting to believe Rachel. Why? On Friday, Moses Kuria staged a disappearance. The entire nation and the country, and specifically Team Tanga Tanga, were completely distracted, and their focus were on Moses Kuria's disappearance. The same Friday, while Moses Kuria was distracting Team Tanga Tanga and the entire nation to that particular disappearance and how he was a brave man going to Kariobangi, President Uhuru Kenyatta was entering into a coalition agreement with the Gideon of KANU. Unanipata? President Uhuru Kenyatta on Friday penned a coalition agreement with KANU. The same day, Moses Kuria was busy disappearing. And today, news emerged that President Uhuru Kenyatta had finally convened Jubilee Parliamentary Group meeting at State House. And it's actually not a parliamentary group meeting. It's a Senate Parliamentary Group meeting. So the president is going to meet Jubilee senators at State House. And that meeting is likely to replace Kipchumba Murkomen as the majority leader at the Senate. And the person who is likely to take over from Kipchumba Murkomen is either Gideon Moi or another candidate, Pogisho, if Pogisho would be fronted by KANU. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing in my view, and this is a lesson to the deputy president, the president has entered into an agreement with KANU. Basically, Jubilee as a political party has entered into a coalition agreement with KANU. William Ruto is not involved. His allies are not involved. None of his people are involved. President Uhuru Kenyatta appended his signature on those documents. His Secretary General appended his signature on the documents. Let me just get the document, because all these documents were actually leaked today. The letter, one of them from the Register of Political Parties, saying deposit of coalition agreement. This is to certify that the following fully registered political parties under the Political Parties Act 2011 deposited coalition agreement number 1 under section 10 of the act. Number 1 is KANU, certificate number 27, and number 1 is Jubilee-KANU, Jubilee Party. Number 2 is KANU. Form PP19 was filed on 4th May 2020 and forwarded by the chairman and the Secretary General of the two political parties. Yours faithfully, Anne Derito. So they were signed by the Secretary and the chairman. And if you look at these documents, the one for KANU was signed by the Secretary, Nick Salat. Jubilee documents was signed by Raphael Tuju. But what message was President Uhuru Kenyatta sending to his deputy by this act? What's happening in Jubilee? Because it seems the politics in Jubilee is actually high voltage. It's even higher than the politics you witnessed in ODM recently, in Senate, especially Ladamo Lekina and James Orengo. What's happening in Jubilee Party? I like making reference to Dennis Itumbi, because Dennis Itumbi is actually emerging as the spokesperson of the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. Dennis Itumbi updated something a few hours ago. He's saying tomorrow PG is to endorse Gideon Moi as the Senate Majority Leader. So he's narrating. I want to dissect it as we go. So on Thursday, President Kenyatta, his brother Uhuru Kenyatta, and Nancy Gitau met Gideon Moi and agreed on illegal post-elections agreement. So these guys met on Thursday and they agreed to enter into an agreement. Dennis Itumbi is terming it illegal because he's continuing. Illegal because such document can only be executed by NEC and provided by Jubilee Constitution. So I don't know the constitution Dennis Itumbi is reading, but even the NEC of Jubilee Party, if you read Jubilee Constitution, it gives the president the leeway to do whatever he wants. The president can appoint members to the NEC. So that's number, Itumbi is saying it's illegal. But these guys met. So the mere fact that the president was meeting Gideon Moi on Thursday and signing these documents on Friday, and when the president was signing this, Moses Kuria was on a mission of distracting the entire country. Number one, Itumbi is saying Senator Moi on Friday then went boasting to Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka on Friday and effectively Hustler Nation through our political intelligence arm got wind of the plan. So on Friday, I think after these documents were signed, is when Gideon Moi now went to Kalonzo and he talked with Kalonzo. And when he talked with Kalonzo, probably Kalonzo spoke to someone else, I don't know. But that's the moment now Team Tanga realized that these guys are up to something. Now he's saying the idea of the coalition executed in secrecy was to kick out Majority Leader Kipchumba Murkomen and whip Susan Kehika. These two gentlemen, I mean Kehika and Murkomen are actually going. So it's continuing number 3. You, however, need a PG. So a clever idea was hatched, called a senator's only PG. So the president has been silent. He's been watching these guys. So Itumbi is accepting that a clever strategy was mooted, and the president then decided to call only the senators for the PG. Because even me personally, if you watched my previous video, I thought this PG was for all the other members. Number 4 is saying, however, one hitch, whatever changes are made, they must be communicated by the party's whip, who is Susan Kehika. Itumbi is referring to her as General Susan Kehika. And this is why I'm saying the deputy president was very clever and very wise politically in 2017 when Jubilee was going for election and after that election. He knew for him to control parliament, he needed the speaker, he needed the majority leader, he needed the whip. So at the Senate, he has those 3 people. At the National Assembly, he had only 2 because he could not get the support. The power has gone off a bit, so my lighting has reduced. He could not get the support of Justin Muturi because Muturi actually ni mtu wa President Uhuru Kenyatta. But let us see if Kehika will refuse to play balls. Now it's continuing, it will be continuing. Number 6. Now the next challenge is Speaker Ken Lusaka. That one threatened with wheelbarrow. Remember, Lusaka at the Senate ni mtu wa Ruto. But Lusaka is a conformist. I don't think Lusaka will oppose the president and oppose anything which the president will require. Number 6 is saying the proposed new majority leader was initially Samuel Pogisho, but that has now been changed, and the new person is Gideon Moi. I think initially they were like, tukileta Gideon watu watasema ni dynasties, tukileta Pogisho at least ni mtu wa KANU. Personally, I would have agreed with these guys to go with Pogisho, but probably they don't even trust Pogisho moving forward. Now this is the catch, and I alluded to this in the previous video, that normally in these PG meetings, the president just walks in, reads a list, no vote, no position is required, and they leave. So it means if these guys will find themselves at State House, the president will go there and will read the list and will call off the meeting. Na timtangatanga watakuwa wamebaki hapo. They shall have actually be party to this document. That's why Team Tangatanga are likely not to attend this meeting. They are going to absent them. They are going to abscond from attending this meeting. That's one thing I can assure you. But what message is President Uhuru Kenyatta sending to his deputy? What message is he sending? In my view, the president is sending the following and is telling his deputy the following in no uncertain terms. Number one is that Jubilee Party is under my control. Remember, the president has been watching in silence and watching from far. When his Secretary General writes a letter, then the Deputy Secretary General writes another letter. These guys have been calling the Secretary General of a party, a person who was brought by the president, as a fraudster and a conman. So the president has been observing these guys. So the president has actually managed to tell them that Jubilee as a political party ni yangu. Because you can imagine Jubilee entering into a coalition agreement with the KANU of all the political parties and post-election. And William Ruto is not in any way involved. KANU was originally a party of the people of Rift Valley as late as the other day because of former President Daniel Moi. So they are entering into a coalition with the Jubilee Party. The DP is not involved. What message is that? My friend, the DP is being told, in this party, you don't call the shots. In 2017, when all other political parties were merging to form one big political party called the Jubilee Party, one political party refused to be part of that. And that party was none other than KANU. KANU refused to dissolve. Ruto dissolved his political party, which he was controlling. All other political parties dissolved those political parties. KANU refused. Now you are telling Ruto that you refuse you dissolve your party. This guy did not dissolve his party. But now I'm entering into an agreement with him without anything. I mean, you cannot do anything about it. And in Jubilee's letter, it's actually signed by the chairman. And it's also signed by the Secretary General. And again addressed, also copied to the party leader. Number two, I think the president is telling the DP that me and you, we are done. Otherwise, if he was not communicating that, I am sure the president would have at least consulted him. Itumbi, who is now the deputy president's spokesperson, is making it very clear that they only learned about this after it had happened, and Gideon Moi now went and bragged about it with Kalonzo Musyoka. But again, why would Kalonzo Musyoka leak these things to William Ruto and his team? Remember that meeting which happened in South Sudan. And I've always opined and insist on this platform that the best running mate for the DP is Kalonzo Musyoka. So the president has told his DP in no uncertain terms, in this party, we are done and I'm done with you. I'm actually moving this party without your input. And lastly, I strongly believe it's also about 2022 general elections. The president is telling his DP, I'm not going to support you. The president is actually charting another political path. And someone once told me that I was actually confusing that in 2002, Uhuru actually contested on KANU ticket. He joined PNU through KANU. In 2002, Uhuru contested for the presidency of KANU, so he contested on KANU. In 2013, in 2002, Uhuru contested for the presidency, but on a KANU ticket. In 2007, Uhuru didn't contest for the presidency. He supported Uhuru Kenyatta, he supported Mwai Kibaki, but he supported Mwai Kibaki through KANU. So the person was telling me, Uhuru's heart is still KANU. Uhuru bado ni mtu wa KANU, and is actually returning the people he removed from KANU. When he formed TNA, he's taking them back to KANU. The politics is going to be very interesting. Let us wait for tomorrow to see how it's going to unfold. If Kipchumba Murkomen is going to be kicked out, how is it going to impact in politics? Susan Kika ni mtu mdogo, yeye anaweza tolewa anytime, nothing. I mean, nobody will actually feel it. But let's wait and see how the deputy president can actually also react to that move, because now it's gloves off. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, again, just take a second and take a second or two, hit the subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, you'll get notified. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is today. Thank you guys, and again, always remember to visit www.vuguvugu.com. That's our blog for this. That's our blog where we post current affairs. So if some things are not here, then you can be assured of getting them on that blog. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.